Welcome, business owners. Thank you so much for joining me today for the lead generation workshop. So, this is a workshop that we decided to put together. It's a free workshop that will help you create a lead generation system. So, if you are someone who is new to building an online business or you haven't set this up yet, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to do that. So, let's go ahead and get started. This is just an introductory video that kind of gives you an overview of what we're going to be doing and how we are going to help you get that set up. So here's the agenda. So of course, I'm going to introduce myself to anyone who doesn't know who I am. We're going to talk about why you need leads. We're going to talk about the old way of generating leads. And we're also going to talk about today's options, as well as the many opportunities that are available to you once you get this skill under your belt. Once you have your system built, you are going to be so free to do the other things, the things that matter most, spending time with the people who matter most, as well as putting your focus on some of the things that you might want to do to really, take your business to the next level. So, my name is Marvelyn Brown, if you don't know me, and I'm the founder of Making It Remotely. And here at Making It Remotely, we help entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, as well as existing entrepreneurs, take their ideas and turn them into thriving online businesses. Now, I am also someone who loves to create. So, I create physical products. I love to knit, I love to crochet, I love to make jewelry, and I like graphic design. So I do a lot of that stuff here, in my business where I help, graphic designers and photographers and knitters and crocheters and people who love to create things. I just really love helping folks who are in that category build their thriving online businesses using online platforms. So websites, blogs, landing pages, sales pages, all of those things that we need to put together and those ideas that, we want to bring into reality, putting all that stuff together. And it's more than a notion to learn all of that and then bring it all together with the ideas that you have. So that is kind of what I do. I facilitate that process and give you some ideas that maybe you haven't thought about before. Okay, so we're going to start out by talking about what is a lead. Because a lot of people, if you're new to online marketing, you may not know, or you may be confused about what a lead actually is. So, a lead is an individual or an organization who has interacted with your business. So, it has to be someone who has done more than just visit your website. They have to be someone that has taken an action of some kind. And it's really up to you as the business owner to determine what actions you want potential customers to take. So it may be something like downloading a piece of content, maybe asking for a free sample of something, maybe a free trial of something. Maybe you are having people sign up for a free resource, or maybe you are having someone, if they visit your store, to sign up, to get your sales information or your updates or whatever. So, lots of different things that we can have our potential customers do to signal to us that they are interested in what we have to offer. Now, here are some of the other things that describe leads. So, a lead is someone who has not yet made a purchase. So, they're a little bit closer to making a purchase than someone who's just a visitor, but they're not yet a customer. They're also someone who is, they, went from knowing absolutely nothing about you to being someone who now is familiar with your business and they know a little bit more about you than they did when they initially landed on your content. They're also considered a warm lead. So you may have heard the term, cold prospecting versus having warm leads. When you have a cold prospect, that means that person knows absolutely nothing about you. And so it's going to be a lot harder, even though it's very possible to have someone who knew absolutely nothing about you to land on your site, like what they see, and make a purchase. I have experienced that a lot. However, it's a lot easier to really build a cohesive bond with people who are more, warm leads, because that means you've given them an opportunity to kind of really get to know you and understand your brand. So now, why does your business need leads? Now that we know what a lead is, let's talk about why you need a lead. And it's probably pretty obvious to you by now that, there's a big reason, or a very important reason, why you need leads. But let's talk about it, because this can really help to add clarity as well as to how important it is to have people in your business who are leads. So the first reason is because of relationships. So having an online business is about relationships. It's really not about your product or your service. It's not about how pretty your website is. It's not about how great your product is. It's about the relationships. So if you're someone who is helpful, if you're a great resource, if you're adding value, then that is going to help you to build a better relationship with an audience of people who are looking for what you have to offer. So when you are building those relationships with someone, you're really giving your potential customer a way to get to know more about you. It's kind of like, and I've heard people talk about this before, but it's really kind of like dating. Like you meet somebody, and so when someone is actually, let's just like break it down like this. When someone comes to your site, they know nothing about you, and they go and they buy something, that is great for you, but there's still no relationship there, right? So it's kind of like meeting somebody for the first time and then going to the altar and getting married, right? Because that means that you have this technical relationship where, with your business, it's more of a technical transaction, but there's nothing that cements that together. You know what I mean? Like someone buys a product from you and hopefully they like it, but they really still don't know that much about your business. So there's a whole gap there that needs to be filled in. Versus when someone becomes a lead, it's kind of like going steady for a while, right? You meet somebody, you go steady for a while, and you determine whether you like that person, whether they're a good fit, and then you might even have conflicts every now and then. But if you like the person enough, then you'll work through the conflicts, and your relationship will stay intact. And that's really what you want in business. You want to have relationships that last over the long haul. So relationships really give you and I an opportunity, rather, to determine whether a potential customer is a good fit for your business, and then it gives that potential customer an opportunity to know if your business is a good fit for them. So it's a two-way situation. Another reason you need leads is so that you can follow up. And this is a way for you to answer questions, clarify anything that maybe the person doesn't understand. You might even be able to handle objections or skepticism or concerns, because a lot of times when people land on your site and they like what they see, sometimes they feel like, okay, what's the catch? There has to be something to this. It can't be as good as I think it is. And so when you have that opportunity, you give them the opportunity to get to know more about you, and they understand that you're a real person. There's a real person behind the business, and there's someone that, seems to be on the up and up, someone that seems to know what they're doing, and someone that is really adding value for me. That is the thing that really helps people decide whether they want to make a purchase, or even after they make a purchase, whether they want to hang around and become a, regular customer. Next, of course, you want sales, right? The whole reason we're in business is to generate income. So we definitely, our business needs to have leads so that we can convert those leads into sales. And when you have that relationship going that you've built, then that provides a direct line of communication, and it gives you an audience of people who know, like, and trust you. And that is so important. So, all the elements that you need to turn leads into customers are going to be right there through your lead generation system. Last but not least, this is really one of the most important things. When it comes to building a business, you have to have an audience. If you don't have an audience, in my opinion, you don't have a business, because you're just out there talking to the air. You're not talking to people. And in order for you to have a business, you need people, right? Who are going to buy your products and services. So, a lot of great reasons why your business needs leads. And this is the reason a lot of businesses suffer and struggle and, go through a lot of frustration, is because they don't have leads. They don't have a system that enables them to generate leads. So now this is the old way, and this is the thing too. This is the frustrating thing that happens a lot of times when someone starts a business. They may have a really good product. They may have a good website, a website that really does the job that the website is supposed to do, but it does lack, like a lot of websites lack a really good lead generation system. So if your website, say for instance, maybe you have a Wix website, and I don't have anything against Wix, because you can set up a Wix site to do some of the same things that we're going to be talking about. But some of the tools that are available on Wix are not as easy to use as the tools that we're going to talk about, when we go through the lead generation workshop. But just think about the fact that back in the day, people, if you had a product, let's say that you had a product and you needed to get that product in front of as many people as possible so that you could be successful in reaching your sales goals. Well, a lot of people had to go door to door or meet with people one on one. So that meant always setting up appointments, always trying to find people to talk to, running people down, twisting their arm, trying to get them to buy your products, feeling desperate, being desperate, and not really making the kind of income, that really changes someone's life. So when you think about, what people had to go through back in the olden days, and, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but I'm old enough to remember door to door salesmen that would ring, my parents' doorbell, and, you would go to the door and they would be selling stuff like encyclopedias and household products, vacuum cleaners, blenders. I mean, just all kinds of stuff, right? And so the thing that you have to remember is, that was the way that people made money. That was how, people who were in sales, who were in these companies where, they were either in network marketing or direct sales companies. That is how they made their money. And so if they wanted to really do well with their commissions, that was what they had to do. The other thing that people did back in the day was they would take out expensive media ads. So there were a lot of people who, they would just take out newspaper, radio, and TV ads. They would do things like printing up CDs and flyers. They would hand out business cards. They would rent space in hotels and have, invite a lot of people to a hotel meeting or whatever. And that was what they did to get the word out about their business. Now, there was a third category of people who, were kind of left to struggle. And if you couldn't afford to, take out the expensive media ads, or if you weren't someone that was out there hustling, going, from door to door, then your business probably struggled. So that means that, you were probably not making your business goals. And that probably led to a lot of people just saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm out of here. I can't compete, right? And so a lot of people threw in the towel. And I believe that that is where a lot of the high numbers, um, I think the high turnover or the high failure rate for a lot of businesses came from the fact that people were just not able to generate leads. So now today we have the internet, right? And it's really revolutionized the way that people make money online, and the way that people are able to build their business. And the way that people build their business is by setting up things like automation, having processes and procedures, and taking those processes and procedures and putting them online to create systems. So, here are the basic areas that you want to think about when you're trying to build a business. Number one, you've got to attract people to your business. And when you can attract an audience of people to your business, that means you don't have to go out and try to find people. You're going to have a steady stream of people who are always coming into your pipeline. So you're not having to have that stress of going out, talking to people, trying to get them to buy from you. So then once you attract someone to your business, or you attract an audience, then you want to give them the option to take some kind of action. And we talked about that earlier, where people can either download a free resource, they can get a free trial, they can maybe sign up for a newsletter or do something that indicates that they are interested in learning more. So then once they do that, once they express interest, then they become a lead, and you have the ability to follow up, to build that relationship, to generate sales, and to create an audience or a community. You can call it a community or an audience of people who know, like, and trust you. And the way that you do that is through your email marketing system. So, all of these systems, when you put them together, they really create an entire process that will free you up and enable you to go out and just do the things, because these things are going to run on autopilot. These things are going to run whether you're physically present or not. And what it does is it gives people in your community, your ideal customers, people that you want to work with, it's going to give them the ability to reach out to you. So they're going to come to you and ask you for information. You're not going to be running out trying to run them down. You're going to do your research, and you're going to figure out what is going to bring them to you. What can you do as a business owner to attract people and make your business, more attractive. If you have something that's attractive, people are going to be attracted, right? And so it's really up to you to come up with, something that will attract your audience, and then get them to take that next step. So the great thing about this too is once you have these systems working, they can be duplicated across multiple businesses. So what that means is, and that's what I talked about in the very beginning of this presentation, and that is, once you have this one system that we're going to build, we're going to help you build your lead generation system. And once you've gone through this process once and you've gotten it to work, you're going to feel amazing, because that means that if you can get it to work on one business, then you can take that same model and you can duplicate it across other businesses. And of course, you will probably have to tweak it and kind of maybe change a few things based on that particular business. But this is a system that you can use over and over and over to earn income. So now, what are the opportunities? Lots of opportunities. Number one, audience attraction. And the more people you can attract to your business, the better. And as time goes on, you're going to get better and better at attracting people to your business. You're going to try things, and maybe some things will work, other things maybe not so much. You're going to learn what works, you're going to learn what doesn't work, and you're going to do more of what works, and you're going to do less of what doesn't work, right? You're going to also have this system that generates leads for you. And what that means is you're going to generate leads when you're asleep. You're going to generate leads when you're at the grocery store. You're going to be generating leads when you're hanging out with your family and your friends. You're going to be generating leads when you go out and you do a talk. Let's say that you do a talk and you have a lead generation system set up. All you're going to have to do is flash your lead generation, the link to your lead generation system. You just flash that across the screen. While you're doing your presentation, at the very bottom, you have that link there, and you give people, or you can even put a QR code on the screen that people can, just kind of scan that with their cell phone while they're sitting in the audience listening to you talk. You can use those kinds of tools to send people to your lead generation system without saying a word, right? You can let your lead generation system do the talking for you so that you're no longer having those awkward conversations. You're no longer having to go out and say, hey, I'd love to talk to you about my business over lunch. You don't have to do that anymore because people can look at your system, they can look at your products, they can look at your services at any time they want to. All they have to do is pick up their phone, their tablet, or their laptop, or their desktop, or whatever device they're using. And they can look at your products and services at 3 o'clock in the morning if they want to, or, first thing in the morning when you get up. A lot of times when people wake up, the first thing they do is they look through their social media feed. So lots of different ways that people are going to be able to learn about your business once you have this system set up. And the great thing about it is you're going to be able to earn passive income. So that just means that you are going to be able to make money whether you're physically present or not. And there's certain business models that you can set up where you don't have to deliver products, you don't have to ship products, you don't have to do anything other than create the product once, set it up on your platform of choice, and then you let that system work so that you can sell these products again and again and again. So very, I don't know, in my opinion, this is kind of a game changer. And it's, these systems have been in place for a long time. And that's why you see people when they're on social media or they're on different videos or different podcasts and they're talking about the kinds of money they're making. That is the reason why. It's not a lie. It's not a joke. It's not a scam when someone says they're making $10,000 a month. That is not a scam. It's real because they have set these systems in place and they know how to utilize them so that they can earn even while they're asleep. So the thing that I want you to do is I want you to head over. We have another video that kind of kicks off the lead generation workshop. And again, this is a free workshop. You can probably get through it in about an hour, hour and a half. Just go through all the videos. And then once you get through the videos, you are going to have a complete lead generation system that will enable you to get your business on a totally different page so that you can start getting results. And once you start getting those results, then you are going to be you're going to be just so free and so amazed at how easy it is. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off of this video. Thank you so much for joining me for this introductory video, and I look forward to seeing you in the workshop.